I've had people come to workshops in the past who've told me they've left feeling unburdened.
So in addition, the week following, January 22nd, from noon to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, you're going to be offering a workshop on psychosis.
I'm really excited to be running this workshop on IFS for psychosis because I'm researching that at the moment. Good. My interest in psychosis is that when I first started working in the health service, I was really surprised that people came in saying things that were very understandable, that were then seen by others as not understandable. And if I sat with people and actually listened to their story, there was always a starting point of the crisis that made sense to why they were doing and saying and feeling and believing the things that they were doing and saying and feeling and believing now.
Mm.
And so it was quite disturbing to me that no one was listening.
Mm.
And I wanted to do something where I could begin to understand, how does someone get to that place and then how do they get out of it? And I spent probably 7 or 8 years doing hearing voices groups and other kinds of things before I found IFS.
Mm.
And then I started to dive into the parts understanding of IFS, and that has made all the difference.
Mm.
So for me, I'm really excited about the fact that I'm getting much faster results with clients now that I use IFS, with clients who have these voices and things. And it's not that hard. Like I think that people think it is because we don't understand it. As a Western culture, we don't understand these experiences. But in the IFS framework, it's essentially a polarization of many parts.
Mm.
And some parts want something known and are trying to have it be known, and some parts are terrified to have it be known. And in the mix of that, some parts code it through something.
Mm.
And that comes out as like poetic language or metaphoric meaning making. And so our job is pretty simple: to listen to what's said in a way that helps the client begin to hear themselves differently and feel safe. That feels simple to me. So that's what I'm hoping to bring.
Yeah. What I'm thinking as I hear you is I know that I have parts that when I hear a language that doesn't make sense, it can be very challenging to keep my seat, if you will, and to
Yeah.
follow the coded intersecting. And I don't know if you can say anything about what you'll begin to introduce in this course can help with
Okay.
that. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that I'll be introducing is offering understanding the etiology of psychosis and understanding what parts come up in the therapist or the practitioner. So we'll do an exploration around that. But also, I've had people come to workshops in the past who've told me they've left feeling unburdened because my perspective and my groundedness helps them to let go of some of the fears that they've been told to have in the past. I'm going to offer them I'm going to offer a different perspective, and then I'm going to answer questions and be very practical. And that's going to just already begin to do two things. One is help them take any trailheads that they have towards those parts who lose their seats,
Mm.
and also start to have a different way of holding their client.
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. The structure of the workshop?
I'm trying to decide if I'll do a demo. Sometimes I bring in a demo. I'd have to get permission from some folks. Actually, you know what? I have one client who would be totally willing to do a demo.
Mm.
Okay. So the structure of the workshop will be a little bit of didactic and then some personal exploration around your parts and what comes up for each of us when we're working with clients who have these experiences. And then we'll be sharing in groups. We'll be having some discussion and question and answer time. I'll be sharing some pieces around decoding metaphoric language.
Mm.
And I will also be offering a way of listening to what's under what's said. And then finally, I'd like to bring a demo as well, a short piece of work. because I want people to see how easy it is, not that hard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't look like regular IFS, by the way. And that's really leads us into the nuance and attunement course.
Right.
Because
Right.
everything that I do, even when I'm working in pure IFS with a client,
Right.
it's incredibly nuanced. And so when I'm working with someone who's hearing voices or believes that aliens are out to get them or feels that I might have ulterior motives about the video screen or something,
Right.
then I'm holding them in a relational space that's very nuanced.
What you're talking about, and again, it's when people say, if I'm doing direct access, isn't that just old school psychotherapy? And the answer is no, because when you're doing direct access with an understanding of parts, it really informs how you are doing what we're calling direct access. And what you're saying basically is that, plus really paying exquisite attention just to the relational dimension,
Yes.
where you are the primary self in the room, knowing that there's a latently present self in the other. But in the meantime, you're mostly going to be helping to be the presence to the intersecting lattice of parts until the client can begin to join you in having a relationship with their own parts, something like that.
Yes.